Hello friends! Today I'm so excited to be filming one of my favorite videos, and that is new cozy mystery releases for the next month, in this case November 2024. We have 23 new releases I'll be talking about today, so stay tuned. We have a wide variety from Thanksgiving to Christmas to spooky to knitting to clothing to fashion to bookish. We have everything going on here this month, and I do have some animations scattered throughout, so I hope you'll really enjoy those. Let's get into it. So our first book is one from a series that I have recently started reading in September and October and I'm loving, and that is the Deputy Donut Mystery series. This one is called Blame the Beignets, a Deputy Donut Mystery. It's book 9 in the series and it comes out on November 26th, and it's written by Ginger Bolton. And this one does take place in October. So I have been really enjoying the series because the donut shop is so much fun. The cat's name is Dep, and he always has like a fun little role in this, and I just really love the characters. So this one takes place during October. And weather is cooling down, but business is heating up at Deputy Donut Cafe for owner Emily Westhill. But is a stubborn tabby cat, a mysterious new employee in a murder case with a baker's dozen worth of suspects, too much to manage? So Emily is delighted to welcome her assistant's younger sister Hannah to help with the donut shop while taking a semester off from college. But Hannah's talent for dishing powdered pastries without dropping a crumb attracts some unusual customers, as two admirers with opposite personalities begin to show up during her shifts, much to her older sister's disappointment. Real trouble comes after hours in the dark forest surrounding Emily's lakeside house. Emily follows a trail of her freshly made beignets, just like those purchased by the two admirers, to a dead body. And while the victim may have burned a few bridges, there's no way to sugarcoat the discovery of Hannah's hair clip at the crime scene. Now, as suspicions fall on her own employee and unsavory rumors swirl around town, it will take far more than a sprinkle of good luck for Emily to learn the truth and expose a killer with a very deadly craving. I think Ginger Bolton writes some of the best finales, like reveals, for cozy mysteries that I've read. All of her books have had such good ones, so I am so looking forward to continuing this series. I am on book 5 right now, so I can't wait. Next is a series that I've recently started. This is a slight spoiler for a vlog coming up, but I did read the first book in this, really enjoyed this, and this is the Joss Miller mystery series. This one is called Mint Flavored Trouble, and it's book 3 in the series by Tyora Moody, and this one's coming out on November 26th. What I like about this series is that Joss Miller is, I think she's like in her very late 20s, I want to say. She's a barista, but she's also a true crime podcaster. So some of the chapters of the book are mixed media and you actually get to read like kind of an interview format. At least that was the case with book 1, which I really enjoyed. A little bit of darker themes overall, but a very fun, cozy mystery that I really enjoyed. And in this one, it's a Christmassy one, and Joss is just wrapping up another season of her true crime podcast. She's really looking forward to time with her family for the holidays. So in this one, Joss meets a woman named Lily Hartman, who is the widow of a renowned choir director who was murdered sometime after last Christmas. And there's a lot of issues around the case. It's a cold case, which is kind of what the series is known for. Joss often takes on like cold case discussions on her true crime podcast. So she starts to delve into this, but her detective boyfriend isn't too excited about that because his family's coming to town, it's the holidays, doesn't want her in danger, you know, the kind of usual. And then she's also finding that there's this huge web of resentment and lies that even Lily might be a part of about this man's death. So Joss is really delving into this mystery despite all else because her sense of justice is prevailing. I really enjoyed Joss in the first book and I'm looking forward to reading more. Next we have a crafty Seaside Knitters Society cozy mystery series. This one is called The Herringbone Harbor Mystery by Sally Goldenbaum. It's coming out on November 26th and it is book 7 within the series. And this takes place in Sea Harbor, Massachusetts. So there's kind of 4 central characters in this who make up the Seaside Knitters group, and they have their hands full designing classes for vacationers. They're trying to make this single blanket together, and some of them actually have like a teenage granddaughter who's visiting who started a dog walking business over the summer with another teenager in the area. However, things kind of go awry when there is a house that is burned down in the area, and it's found that a candidate for mayor is dead inside the house, and the 2 teenagers with the dog walking business may have been the last person to see this person alive. So now they're kind of caught up in the case, and the Seaside Knitters are trying to figure out who did it. Coming out on November 4th, we have a Thanksgiving cozy mystery. This one is called Darjeeling Dead, a cozy Thanksgiving mystery. A tea and tarot cozy mystery. It's book 8 in the series by Kirsten, Weiss, and this is a novella, so it's Turkey Pie and Die, a thanks-filled tea room whodunit. So it's Thanksgiving, but Abigail is not having the most gratitude-filled time. There's been a lot going on with her and her boyfriend. There's been these mean vacationers who have been leaving lots of awful reviews about the tea room, lots of drama. And there's also a body that's found on the beach that directly points to her and her tea room. So now her and her friend Hyperion, I'm not sure if that's like, I think that's a tarot card reader. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't read the series, but they have to partner up to solve this mystery. So she's got to rely on her friends and find a sense of gratitude as the holidays approach. Hopefully they can solve this before the Thanksgiving feast begins. Next, we have one from Ellie Alexander, and I am so excited. I have the arc for this. I still need to read it, but I'm caught up on the series otherwise, and I very much recommend it. This is the Secret Bookcase mystery series by Ellie Alexander, and this one's called A Holiday Homicide. This is book 4 in this series, and it's coming out on November 20th. And this takes place in Northern California in this very fun kind of touristy town. Our main character is Annie Murray, and she is a bookstore employee at this very cool bookshop that has all these secret like doors and things, and it's like Agatha Christie themed, and one of the employees is like a Sherlockian like fan. It's so fun. I love the setting for this. But in each book, Annie has put together some kind of event or festival for the town, and she's really become known for this. So she's kind of part bookseller, part event planner, if you will. And unfortunately, her festive plans at the secret bookcase are thrown into disarray when a celebrity baker drops dead during a gingerbread baking competition, which I love. As whispers of foul play swirl like snowflakes, Annie soon finds herself tangled in a web of secrets, small-town rivalry, and long-buried mysteries. With pub owner and new love Liam by her side and the help of her loyal bookstore colleagues, Annie sets out to solve Redwood Grove's latest murder mystery. And the closer she gets to the truth, the more she discovers that the baking community isn't as sweet as it seems. But can she unwrap the truth before the killer strikes again? I love a competition setting for a cozy mystery, so I'm so excited, and it's baking and it's the holidays. What could go wrong other than the murder, right? I'm so excited for this. Next, we have another bookish one. This is part of the Cambridge Bookshop series. This is written by Elizabeth Penney, and it's called Madrigals and Mayhem. And this is coming out on November 26th, and I really need to read this series. I can't wait. So Molly has moved out to Cambridge after inheriting this really cozy old bookshop unexpectedly. So she's kind of settled into England, but this will be her first English Christmas, and she's really looking forward to it and all the beautiful traditions that are going to come along with it. However, there is some drama with a new toy store in the area, or rather a new toy shop owner. After a man named Arthur passes away, his granddaughter Charlotte unexpectedly inherits the place, kind of similar to the main character, but his wife and some of the other family members are really upset at this because they believe that Charlotte has taken what should rightfully be theirs, the toy shop. And there's also this Madame Alexander toy or like doll that has gone missing that's supposed to be very valuable. And then one of the grandsons, so Charlotte's, I guess maybe sibling or maybe like cousin, depending if there's multiple, you know, one of the other grandkids to Arthur, who owns the toy shop, or did own the toy shop, is actually poisoned in a tea room. And Althea, who is the wife, believes that Charlotte was the intended victim. So now our main character and her boyfriend go undercover to this volunteering act and a Madrigal dinner, which I'm not really familiar with. I'm going to look it up after this. I'm very curious to get closer to the family, to get clues, to figure out if Charlotte's really behind this. I'm really excited. This one just sounds so good, and I've read some Elizabeth Penney from some of her other series, and I'm really looking forward to getting into this series. Next, we have one by J.M. Malliet. This is the St. Just mystery series. It is book 6 in the series, and it's called Death and the Old Master. This one is coming out on November 5th, 2024. So this one does involve like a small town detective, private investigator, so I know some people don't consider that cozy, so keep that in mind. This is not an amateur sleuth, but he's a very small time detective. I've read a few in the series and really enjoyed them. They feel very like golden age mystery, even though they're set in modern times. And in this one, this man inherits some of these very valuable paintings, but then some people claim they're worthless. Some claim they're actually very valuable, and this is like a big discovery for the art world, but he refuses to have them authenticated, which is kind of strange. But then he looks closer at the paintings and then he's murdered. So St. Just gets closer into this case. I love like mysteries that involve like art or like heists or things like that, which I think perhaps maybe this has something to do with, I don't know, but it sounds interesting. But he's going to be following a trail of priceless artwork that people are desperate to get their hands on, and I am very excited for this. Coming out on November 5th, we have another Christmassy cozy mystery. This one is called Antiques, Sleigh Bells, A Trash and Treasures Mystery. It's book 18 in the series, written by Barbara Allen, and this involves a former sheriff, talented thespian, and delightfully eccentric true crime author. So we have two main characters, Vivian and Brandy, and a small Shih Tzu who is part of this who's on the cover here, really cute. So Vivian is a septuagenarian mother, and she is the owner and like person running this antique shop. And then her long-suffering daughter Brandy, I haven't read this series, but that alone makes me want to read it, work together, and they're like a sleuthing duo. And in this one they're preparing for some kind of fair, and they're selling their antiques and everything. And Vivian's a bit upset because she feels like their antiques aren't getting enough attention, but there's like some socialites in the area, and one of them falls face first into plum pudding and passes away, presumably murdered. And so this sleuthing duo has a first-class murder case for Christmas. This one just sounds so fun. I really want to get into some antique cozies this next year. Next we have one from an author I love and a series I'm caught up on, and this is by Mia P. Manansala. This is the Tita Rossi's mystery series. It's book 5 in this series, and it's called Guilt and Ginataan, and it's coming out on the 12th. This one does take place during autumn, and it takes place in the small town of Shady Palms. This is the annual Shady Palms Corn Festival, which is one of the town's biggest money makers, and it draws crowds from all over the Midwest who want to partake in delicious treats, local crafts, and of course, the second largest corn maze in Illinois. Leela and her Brewha Cafe crew, Adina and Elena, are all too happy to participate in the event and even make a little wager on who can make it through the corn maze the fastest. But their fun is suddenly cut short when a dead body is found in the middle of the maze, and an unconscious Adina lies next to it, clutching a bloody knife. The body is discovered to be a local politician's wife, and all signs, murder weapon included, point to Adina as the culprit. But Leela knows her best friend couldn't have done this, so she and her crew put on their sleuthing caps yet again to find the killer who framed Adina and show them what happens when they mess with a Brewha. I love this series. It's so well written, the mysteries are great, the characters are fun, there is a Dachshund, Longanisa, I want to say, and it's so cute. Another Thanksgiving cozy mystery, and a novella at that. This one is called Sheer Window, a Material Witness mystery, and this is a novella which is a Thanksgiving twist on Rear Window. This is supposed to be kind of a Hitchcockian twist. Our main character is Polyester. I almost said that with a straight face. I really tried. But she owns a fabric store, boutique. It's like a family business. I think she takes over in the first book. And in this one, she's actually a bit clumsy. She falls, and she's spending her holiday in a wheelchair as she's recovering from some kind of injury. And she decides to play a little bit of a parlor game and kind of watch her neighbors. And then she witnesses a crime. But no one believes her. The only person who believes her is kind of this ominous guest that she has, and the stakes continue to rise as she tries to get people to believe her and the police and everything. And this one just sounds really interesting. I like the premise. I recently read The Woman in the Window, which was a thriller, and I love the window watching aspect of these books. I think they're so fun. This next one is for you if you enjoy gardening. This is A Gardener's Plot, a mystery by Deborah J. Benoit, and this is about a woman setting up a community garden in the Berkshires. So our main character Maggie has had a lot of curveballs thrown at her in life recently, and she's excited to be back in Marlowe, which has some fond childhood memories, it sounds like, and she's starting a community garden, and she's helping this lady named Violet Blooms set up the community garden. And on opening day everything is going okay until they discover a boot in the garden and a body attached to that boot, and the police suspect Violet of the crime. So now Maggie has to get involved to try to clear her friends, and this is actually a debut, which is really exciting. Next we have an Irish cozy mystery by Lucy Connally. This is called Death by the Book, a totally addictive cozy mystery Irish fiction. It's a Mercy McCarthy mystery. It's book 2 in the series, and it's coming out on the 12th. For starters, the dog in this series is named Mr. Poe. I could just end there. I think that's enough details. But our main character Mercy, she's settling into this small seaside town in Ireland, and she runs a bookshop with her friend, and there's a literary festival in town, and the star author of the event is killed when a bookshelf at his home falls over on him. The police don't suspect murder, and Mercy does, so she gets involved poking around the case. But when another person turns up dead, the police can no longer ignore Mercy's suspicions. They have to get into it, but then local gossip actually starts to pin the murder on Mercy, which of course she knows she didn't do it. So with the help of her friend and Mr. Poe, the dog, they're going to clear Mercy's name and dig up the dirt on the town to clear her name and to figure out who did it to this author and the other person. How cute is this cover? I think it's so beautiful. This next one is by the wonderful Angela M. Sanders. This is a series I've recently been reading and just so enjoying. It's the Which Way Librarian mystery series. This is book 6 in the series, and it's called The Witch is Back, and it comes out on the 26th. And this is a supernatural cozy. The main character is a librarian and she can kind of like talk to books. She's got some interesting powers. I'm just learning about them in the first book, but it's been a really good read so far. And in this one, Josie is starting to feel like, you know, things are settling down in the small town of Wilfred, Oregon, but poison pen letters begin to arrive. And she's also surprised by an unexpected visit from her oddly pensive mother, which Josie hopes to distract her with a visit to the Eyrie, the clifftop manor where the recently passed Reverend Clarence Duffy lived. Inside, however, Josie starts to hear warnings from boxes of the preacher's old books, and one's home from the library's detective novels. When Wilfred residents start to receive threatening letters the next day, the witch in training is determined to discover the letters like authors, but not before the dead body of one of the Reverend's sons is discovered at the bottom of the cliff. Unsettled by the Wilfred residents' crumbling friendships and by her mother's reason for her visit, Josie has her hands full of dilemmas. And Sheriff Sam is of no help. He laughs off the letter he receives. Then Josie finds one addressed to her stating that the author knows her secret. Josie has to trust her fledgling powers and magic from a surprising source to uncover the poison pen before anyone else receives a deadly delivery. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to continue this series. It is so fun and whimsical. By Alex Erickson, we have Death by Caramel Macchiato, a bookstore cafe mystery. It is book 13 in the series and it's coming out on the 26th. And it takes place in Pine Hills, Ohio. So our main character, Chrissy, has quite the job. She's a mystery game bookstore and cafe owner. So it's all like, I think, one shop. And in this one, they're doing like a big role-playing game throughout the town. It's like a murder mystery solving game. And Chrissy and her team actually stumble on a real body. So of course the police call off the game, you know, they're telling people to stop. But it soon turns out that a lot of the other people are playing by their own rules and Chrissy and her friends need to solve this case before someone else gets hurt. I love the cat on the cover. I think it's so cute. For those of you that enjoy historical fiction cozies, this one takes place in 1891 in April. It's called Death Takes the Lead, a Gilded Age mystery. It's book 9 in the series by Rosemary Simpson. And our main character is a heiress and lawyer. So this one involves the theater, which I think is such a fun setting. Our main character is Prudence and she agrees to go to this play with her friend Lydia, whose cousin is one of the leads in the play. And she's really excited to see her cousin, but when they get there, they overhear an argument between the cousin and the playwright or like director, because it turns out that the cousin was actually the one who wrote the play and he agreed to kind of not claim authorship of the play and let the director claim it if the author, like the director, cast his like main like love lead as someone he wanted, but he's regretting that and he swears to basically reclaim authorship at any cost, even if that means the play doesn't actually get performed or like comes out on time. But later Prudence and her ex-partner are summoned to Lydia's home because her cousin is dying in her arms and she believes he's been murdered, possibly for this play. So that's the general premise for this. I love the lady's outfit on the cover. I think it's so beautiful. Another cozy mystery that takes place in historical times, 1815. This is described as Agatha Christie meets Bridgerton. It's called All's Fair in Love and Treachery. This is A Lady Petra Inquires, book 2 in the series by Celeste Connally. And this is going to be released on the 12th. So it sounds like there's two main plots for this. There's like an overarching plot about her getting revenge on a person who murdered her fiance many years ago. And then there's a current assignment from the Queen who has asked her to investigate the death of this woman who's like the matron for this female orphanage. And Lady Petra discovers there might be a link between the matron's death and a group of radicals and some like disturbing letters that are being received, and she intercepts the letter that might support this. So this one sounds really interesting. It's a historical fiction series I'd really like to get into. This next one I've actually already read because I had an e-arc for it and it was fantastic, and that's I'll Be Home for Mischief by Jacqueline Frost. This is a Christmas tree farm mystery. It is book 5 in the series and it's coming out on November 12th. Our main character is innkeeper Holly White and she's decking the halls this Christmas season, but someone is on the naughty list when a body is discovered. And it's Christmas time in Mistletoe, Maine, and the Historical Society has launched a widespread campaign to celebrate the town's 150th anniversary. The founding family, the Snows, have returned for the first time, and Holly is determined to make the family's visit magical. In an attempt to put Mistletoe on the map, Holly's mother, a respected local baker, attempts to break a record by baking the world's largest gingerbread man. But her plans are whisked away when Mr. Snow's body ends up in the batter. When Mr. Moore, the local mistletoe farmer, is accused of the crime, Holly reprises her role as amateur sleuth to protect the sweet old man. Between hosting the inconsolable Mrs. Snow and other guests at the inn, receiving threatening messages telling her to stop her investigation, and preparing for her first wedding anniversary, Holly might need a Christmas miracle to survive. I so enjoyed this series. If you're looking for the ultimate Christmassy cozy mystery series, this is it. All of the books are Christmassy and they're fantastic. Another series I love is the Royal's Finest mystery series by Rhys Bowen. This one is called We Three Queens and it's coming out on November 19th. And it's book 18 within the series. This takes place in late 1936. So in this one, our main character, Lady Georgiana, or Georgie, is a new mother. She's also recently married, and this one involves a lot of like English politics. The king at the time, Edward, is in a lot of turmoil because he has fallen in love with very scandalously American Wallis Simpson and also divorced. So two strikes against her, not so good. This is based on some real events, of course, or at least inspired on it. And her husband, Georgie's husband, is friends with Edward, so he agrees to hide Edward and Wallis Simpson at their home to kind of give Edward time to think about what he's going to do. Because he would basically have to give up the throne to get married to Miss Simpson. What they didn't realize was that the new owner of the estate, Sir Hubert, agreed to let a film crew on the estate, and so now they're trying to raise a newborn baby, keep Miss Simpson hidden, and a body is found with the film production crew. So, you know, no sweat at all. I always love these books. I think they're so fun, and I just love Lady Georgie. She's a real hoot. If you're looking for a short and sweet novella for Christmas, this one is by Catherine Bruns. It's called Planes, Candy Canes, and Hearses, a Cookies and Chance mystery. It's a novella, and it's book 14 and a half in the series, and this will be released on the 26th. So our main character is Sally, or Sal, and she's a full-time baker, part-time sleuth, and the Christmas season is really heating up. So her and her friend Josie, who run the bake shop, are preparing to close down for Christmas Eve, and to also get ready for Sal's daughter's birthday, who is around this time of year as well. But then she gets a quick call from her father, who needs a ride from the airport. So she agrees to go pick him up, but when she arrives, she can't find her father anywhere. There's also reports of a mysterious companion that he was seen leaving the airport with. So now Sal's got to find her father in time for Christmas. So this one sounds real fun, a nice short sweet novella for the holiday season. This next one is a wedding planner mystery series. It's called Isles Well That Ends Well, an Annabelle Archer wedding planner mystery. It's book 20 in the series by Laura Durham, and it's coming out on the 15th. So our main character is Annabelle Archer. She is a wedding planner, and her longtime partner and new business partner, Kate, is getting married this New Year's Eve, and everything is going well. They're getting ready for the dress fitting and all of that until the dress fitting takes a murderous turn of events, and Annabelle's got to help her friend solve this mystery and possibly unravel the wedding while she does that. And what's going to happen if her cop husband finds out that Annabelle has been sleuthing again? Next we have the cutest cozy mystery cover. This is called Murder at the Lemonberry Tea, a Beacon Bake Shop mystery. It's book 6 in the series by Darcy Hannah, and it's coming out on the 26th. And our main character is Lindsay Bakewell. She has an iconic lighthouse bake shop in Michigan, and she has a new outdoor patio where they can eat their treats in the glorious summer weather. But what's really exciting is that the bake shop is going to host British celebrity chef Vivi Lemonberry, and what could be a more appropriate event than a tea party? What Lindsay didn't realize is that Vivi is here to put some distance between herself and her recent professional and personal scandals. Despite assurance that Vivi is as sweet as a chocolate-dipped strawberry, Lindsay is cooling rapidly towards the culinary icon, especially after she banishes Lindsay's beloved dog Wellington from the bake shop and then flirts with Lindsay's boyfriend. She's not the only one feeling hostile, though. While Vivi's in the middle of making a tart in front of the cameras, a woman runs up and slaps her. But then Vivi disappears, and folks are speculating on whether she's run off with her secret lover or if she's just embarrassed and laying low. That is until Lindsay finds a body bobbing near the surface of Lake Michigan. It's a sour ending for the diva, but Lindsay is determined to squeeze the truth out of every clue until she finds the killer. Okay, who could ban that adorable dog on the cover? I want a hug from Wellington. He looks so cute. We have another Thanksgiving novella. This one is called Pumpkin Pie Prison and Maternal Instincts Mystery, book 15. It's by Diana Orgain, and it's coming out on the 1st. Our main character is Kate. She's a PI, and she is a mom to 2 rambunctious twins and a toddler, and she's looking forward to the holidays, especially when her sister Carly visits. But Carly also brings a very mysterious fiancé who has some murky edges, we'll say. And they start to ask about her police contacts, and just there's missing rings, there's mysterious phone calls, there's all these things that start to make Kate very nervous, and she starts to dig into Carly's fiancé. So Kate must navigate family drama, culinary disasters and get this holiday going to make it happy for her family despite the murky past of the fiance, and we're gonna find out why he's so murky. I'm curious. Last but not least, we have another Thanksgiving novella that seems to be a very big trend. This is the Samantha Sweet Mystery Series. It's called Thankful Sweets. This is by Connie Shelton and it's coming out on the 4th. So our main character Samantha Sweet and her husband Bew are back on a case in this one. Bew has recently been offered his position back at a police station. Samantha's bake shop is booming because she's been asked to make pies for this community Thanksgiving dinner. So everything is going well, it's very busy, but then the celebrity chef is poisoned by his own food and it's clear that it's murder. So Samantha and her husband have to solve this case before Thanksgiving. And unfortunately, this victim had a very abrasive personality, so there is no shortage of suspects for this case. And that is our last cozy mystery release for November. If I missed any that you're excited for, let me know. And let me know what your top 3 are that you're most excited for. I'm going to leave mine in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do post new book content every week on my channel, especially within the cozy mystery and thriller genre. So if you enjoy anything with a mystery, I talk about that here. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye guys!